I hope you all have read the chapter again and have done your own practice at your own quiet period.
Preeti, your signal is very weak.
So let's enjoy this journey of being light. Okay. I would like to welcome Neha ji for to guide us on this journey. Welcome, Neha ji.
Thank you, Preeti ji. Thank you so much. And I welcome everyone. And for this wonderful journey, now this wonderful journey is starting again. And up until now, we have spent a lot of time unlearning our old patterns and reconnecting to our higher self, right? That connection is already a very huge milestone because most of our lives we have been disconnected with this. And so now this week's chapter, throughout the course, we have learned to communicate, and this week's chapter is taking us a step further. My voice is clear, right?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So even though we are receiving guidance from our higher self, there are so many souls who have gone further in this journey, souls who live fully in their light, without any disconnection. And these masters have walked the path we are on, and they are in complete harmony with their true nature. And they are actually operating from that space always. So, this week is about learning from them who have realized their full potential. These masters have become reminders of what is possible for us, how we can live life like that. So it's a very crucial chapter, a milestone chapter. No wonder it is given towards the end, because now we have understanding of ourselves, a better understanding of ourselves, and our inner master is now ready to align with the guidance of those who have already walked this path. So when we tune into their presence, we are not just only learning from them, but we are getting a glimpse of what we truly are, the very essence that we are made of. And we all know what is that essence. That essence is love, that we have gone over and again in this book. Love is the main ingredient, it is the foundation of existence. And in our earlier chapter, when we were expanding communication, we have read this that that we have read a definition of consciousness. So I want to quote it here, that consciousness is the awareness that comes from the initial creation. So we know that love is the essence, but to recognize this, we need consciousness. That is also spiritually referred as light. So your light is the way you access your truth of love. That's why it is said that light is just another way of looking at love. Your light, your awareness, your consciousness allows you to see, feel, and know love as this reality, as this one reality. So without light, love remains unseen. It is an unseen potential, it is there. Just as in the physical world, without light, we can't see the beauty of what is already there. So we need light. And it is, of course, a metaphor, but it is the expression of the same truth. It's like both are metaphors for the same reality. Just like light in physics. I'm not a physics person, but since I have gone through earlier, we might have seen, most of us might know about the double slit experiment of light. So in physics, it is known to behave as a particle and a wave both at the same time. This is the nature of light. So we cannot define light just as a particle or just as a wave. Same way, our consciousness, our light, when it interacts with our body, it reflects the particle nature of light. That is our individual self, our own unique self that allows me to say that I am Neha and I am this person with this certain dislikes and likes. I am a unique expression of love. And when light expresses its wave nature, then we are more into, we are expanding our awareness into our higher self, the thing that we cannot perceive, that cannot be perceived by our senses. We are like wave. We are then connected with everything in the creation. So both things are true to us. We are an individual and we are a whole at the same time. And we have read this before, that you are a part, but you're still whole of that God's thought. So earlier we understood our reality as only the small physical part of ourselves, our body, our mind, our perception, our thoughts. Now, this just um, just the body part. So we have taken it, this limited aspect of ourselves, to be the whole of who we are. This is who it is. No, we don't know anything beyond it. But through these exercises, through these reflections, repetitions in this course, we are now beginning to recognize that we are much more than this physical body, right? We are the wave nature of light also at the same time. So we exist as both, and we were not aware of it earlier. Or maybe we were not living in complete awareness of that part of us. And now that we know, uh, when we know this and we become a mirror to this light of consciousness, then we reflect our divine nature, right? So uh, our thoughts and feelings reflect that light, because if we reflect that light of who we are, right, we consciously align our thoughts and feelings and actions with love, then that light reflects like that. If we are unaware, then the light would reflect like that. So it's upon us. We can consciously work on it. So we can transform our external reality to reflect our internal truth. So this is the concept of free will that we have been taught, that the free will, we have the free will to tune into this light, to tune into this love frequency, and realize that nature of love that essentially um, is the essence of creation. So once we tune into that reality, we can experience and express uh, how we are made. Love and light, both are two sides of the same coin, same consciousness expressed as love and light. So they are actually one, not two. So we have now, through the practices when we were expanding communication with plant, we also learned that even a plant or an inanimate object has consciousness. It is aware of itself as love, and that simple awareness is good enough to be connected with everything else, right? So now, for expressing love, we need light. Now, uh, like as a seed, it carries all the potential, but it needs even physical light externally to show its full glory. The seed has the love and light both. So the inner light responds to the outer physical light to see the full glory of the plant. So another example I want to quote from the book itself is of clay. That clay by itself has the potential to become a clay pot, a sculpture. It could take any shape, whatever the artist imagines. But this potential is consciousness. It contains all the possibilities within, but it is unexpressed on its own. So to take form and express its essence, the clay needs a medium. It needs guidance. It needs hands of the potter. It needs the shaping process, the environment, right? So similarly, our consciousness has the potential to express, but it needs a medium to manifest. So that's why light is the medium through which love is visible in tangible form. So, like potter's hands brings the clay's potential into the world. In that context, we should understand that how our body is a perfect expression of divine on this plane. It's a beautiful vehicle. It's from the book. It is written. It's a beautiful vehicle to express the potential, and it is also this sentence over there that uh, it's here and now that we learn our true identity is God's light. So our body is the medium through which God expresses itself. Body is the medium through which consciousness expresses itself. So just like the clay example where it had the potential to become pot or sculpture or anything, our consciousness has infinite potential of love and light, but on its own, it's unexpressed. But just like for the clay to take its form, it needed the hands of the potter. For consciousness to express love, it needs this body, this vessel through which it expresses its light in the physical world. And each of us are unique also, unique representation of that light. It is saying that our nervous system is our onboard computer hardware. So everybody has a different way how their minds and thoughts work. So it distributes that energy of consciousness in a different way. So uh, when we understand this, that uh, our body is not separate from the uh, clay, we say the potential, that consciousness, it is a perfect vehicle to learn, experience, and express that we are made of God's light. And we are that body of light only in actual sense. We are that body of light without boundaries. But to express it, we have to take this physical form. So, in that context, we can say that we are actually light in different bodies. And you are light, but being in this body, in this limited experience, you are expression of, you are a unique expression of light. You are essentially the same consciousness, but um, individually also you are existing as your unique way, right? So the nervous system example, again, just like every physical body has its own nervous system and the way it processes the world, everybody is different from each other. You may be sensitive to cold, I am sensitive to heat. You may love lilies, I may love roses, like that. So these differences reflect the unique ways in which the same light expresses itself through each person. Then it says that at the center of your being, you are a more concentrated form of light, but your own light permeates all of creation. So, what I could decipher is that at the center of our being, we are this individual expression. We have our own light in our own way, but essentially, we are the same light which permeates all of creation. To, it connects everybody in this unified field. So everyone carries the same light, but they are expressing it in their own unique way. So this light which is in us, which is expressing us through us individually, is the higher self. Of course, it says that it is more brilliant, more stunning, more brighter, beautiful than we can ever imagine with our physical eyes. So we cannot perceive it, we cannot see it. That higher self is our reality. That's how, when light expresses itself as wave, That's the wave nature that we are uh, referring to. So, this higher self is actually our reality. It tells us about our true nature. And it says that anything perceived at less than full value is at most a reflection of it. So, anything we perceive that is less than this, we, our physical body, our thoughts, emotion, it's just a partial reflection of this true light. Our true light is beyond words, beyond perception. And that's why we are calling higher self as the image of God within us. That means that part of us, that light, is just a true copy of what God is. It is a reflection of that. It is the image of that. It's the image of that. And in our daily life, how to see this image of God in our daily life. So we have done certain exercises. We have experienced love in its unconditional form. So these are just reflections of that light, that higher self within us, that God within us that we are referring. So if we just keep our focus on these reflections, it changes our lives. And most of us have seen a lot of changes in our life, just being in the awareness that we are love. And that's the whole purpose of this course also, to see the reflection in our daily life and be reminded of who we are. Right? These reflections only tell us about our full reality. And of course, this it is said that this light is not bound by time and space. It is not bound by events. It is omnipresent. So it means, of course, it permeates the wave nature of light. It is not bound by time, space. So I'll discuss that more later. So here it says that just as great telescopes scan the heavens for truth about cosmos, they rely on mirrors that reflect and amplify starlight, right? So even the faint light of a small star is magnified in a telescopic mirror, and it can provide us information about a lot of things in astronomy. So similarly, in our lives, even this small reflection of our higher self's light can reveal our truth. One ray of inner light is enough to give us insight about our vastness. Just this knowing that we are omnipresent, we are omniscient, just this knowing. When we go into deep meditation, we do experience that as well. So, that awareness, if we hold on to this awareness that we are light, we can actually dispel all darkness, because then we are no more attached to the identity self. So that's why it is said here that it is enough for you to taste your capital S self. You can see the capital S over there. It is enough to bring experience of God's qualities. And clearly we cannot perceive higher self, right? That's what we have experienced. But the simple realization, when we consciously recognize it over and again, can guide us and make our daily life a reflection of that light. So this sentence over here, just as telescope captures and magnifies the faint light of distant stars to reveal the vastness of cosmos, this course is your telescope for your ever expanding awareness of heaven. So how interesting is this line actually? It caught my attention that every practice, every exercise, every reminder is like polishing the mirror of our mind, so that even the smallest ray of higher self, it can be reflected and magnified. So when this magnification happens, what felt very distant, what felt unimaginable, you begin to see it, experience it. You see that heaven is never out there somewhere, or God is never out there somewhere, but always present within you as your own light, as your own love. It just is waiting to be recognized, it is waiting to be experienced. So, uh, in that context, I'm referring as inner light as consciousness. It is free, it is weightless, it is unlimited and defies gravity. So, unlike this body, which is fixed at one place, or our mind, which just filters and interprets experiences, uh, this light of consciousness flows naturally and connects with everything around us. So I thought I would probably explain this and make this more simpler. For example, my body may be sitting in Singapore, but my awareness can think of my family in India and feel their love instantly. So mind is the one which interprets time and distance, but our consciousness simply just reaches across. It connects with everything, and you can feel oneness with everything without any passport, without any immigration. I am there, or I can bring them here. So, even this awareness is enough to remind us that we are not just this body and the thoughts that we think. We are not this limited being. We are this infinite awareness, this love, this light, which is capable of transcending all limits. So how beautiful it is to be in this space and really experience what true freedom is. So then we go further, that it's saying that many souls of earth have already awakened to their true nature. So they know themselves as light, and they know themselves as God's image fully. They know this. They don't live in disconnection anymore. And some never lost touch with this truth at all. And others have actually, and when we say that some never lost touch with this truth at all, then I could only think of masters like Krishna, I could think of Jesus, I could think of Shiva. That's the stories that we have learned, that from the beginning, from childhood only, they were connected to this truth. And others have returned to it. Others have returned to this realization after lifetimes of learning. Just like us, we are here to unlearn and learn what we actually came for. So that's the purpose of this course, that those masters, or purpose of this chapter, sorry, those masters can help us remember who we are. So it is saying that these souls are called by many names like masters, enlightened beings, saints, avatars. But the key point is that they are not different from you at the core. So their essence is also the same light that you carry, they also carry. The only difference is that their awareness is complete and it is constant, that they live as higher self. So some of these masters are already in their physical bodies, walking this earth, helping and guiding humanity. But some of them have left their physical form, but they do teach us from other planes of existence where you also exist. It is written in the book, from other planes of existence where you also exist. So you as higher self exist there, but you cannot perceive it. So hence the communication that will be between that higher self and this higher self. So higher self will be talking to each other. That's why the communication will be in terms of energy. So there are thousands and thousands of such masters who are working quietly, to bring humanity back into wholeness. So they want everyone to realize this aspect of themselves, the higher self aspect of themselves. So some names are familiar to us, like Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Babaji, of course, and others are living and known to few groups, right? They are not as well renowned, but they are, whatever their form is, their purpose is the same. They are guiding humanity back to its divinity. So it's written that these masters live fully aware of their bodies of light. So, as a body of light, they are fully aware. So they are in physical body or not, it doesn't matter. But still, their presence uplifts everyone they touch. So I could say that for my own master, with who's present, like we my family followed a master, and and he was actually living with us, and of course he is not no more in his physical form now, but whenever I think of him, I just feel so much joy, so much love, so much immense gratitude towards him for what he has he has awakened in me. So it was not like some chamatkar he did, but his words, his vibration, the way he spoke, the way he conducted himself, it it changed something in me. Maybe it just, that example which I quoted earlier, that the inner light resonated with that outer light. So they bring out what is already existing in you. And that is why people are drawn to masters also, who are there in their physical body. Just being near to them, just absorbing their words, just their vibration, they can awaken the same light which is already existent in you. So uh, their vibration resonates, which is already inside of you. So this I have practically seen in my life, that whenever we were around our Guruji, there's no other thought used to come. It would just guide us into what we needed that moment. So this is how enlightened beings make you feel. And it doesn't have to be a publicly, or a master who has a master who has left his home, or is uh, actually following a brahmachari kind of lifestyle. But even masters like Patriji and similar masters, they can awaken what lies within us. So when I came across Patriji, he felt like a very strict taskmaster, but you can feel that love. You can feel from what space he is speaking. So this week we are just expanding our communication to include one or two of these masters. Now this term is there to include. Include here means that you consciously open yourself to connect with these masters. And they are not just abstract beings somewhere. They are actually actively guiding you from other planes. And that is the reason, uh, it's written, that is the reason probably you have chosen and connected with this course. So when you sit in your quiet period for the practice, you first get your higher self signal and keep this connection active. The process that we do, we clear our aura, we close our aura, and then we ask our higher self if there is a master who is ready to speak with us. So we are consciously opening this channel, and you can wait for an answer as a yes and no. Probably if you have some doubts, you can always check with the yes and no signals, because mind will come in. Mind, we have learned in the previous chapter that mind uses this weapon of doubts. So it will come in. So to take care of that weapon, we have yes and so no signals. So in case you have any doubts, you always check with your yes and no signals. And if you have no doubts, you are very feeling strong about it, go with it. But if you have some doubts, you can use your yes and no signal. So if you're fully present, if you're fully aligned with your higher self, you will get a yes. But if you are not ready, then you may try it some other time. So you could ask the master to give you their name. Now, why are we asking the name of the master? Just for the mind, make it more tangible to understand who are we communicating with. That's the process we followed when we asked the name of higher self. We wanted to know who are we communicating with. So it also has a sentence here that when you think you have the name, so this aspect of think means the name will come as a thought. So notice the first thought that comes to you when you think, when you are in this process, what's the first thought that is coming to you in this process. So you could, again, if there is a doubt, you can check with your yes and no signals. And you can also ask the name to be spelled out. So if you want to do tapping of alphabets, you can use a piece of paper and you can write the alphabets and I'll tap those alphabets. If you want to go that deep in a name, but the name could be anything. It could be Jesus, it could be an unfamiliar name, familiar name. Our focus should go beyond the name because ultimately everyone is light. So ask the master for a signal. And here signal will be similar to how we got our higher self signal. It could be a movement, a sensation, a vision, a sound, anything that happens out of your control. Just be observant towards it, what happens. So you can again verify it with a yes and no. And then you can you can of course connect with the master, and then with the signal you wait and see what comes to you. Whatever comes to you, you can write it, you can speak it out. If you are doubtful about that information, you use again your yes and no signal. Then of course, when you end your communication, you can check if there is anything more with that you need to be communicated. You check with the yes and no again. So in the beginning, it may seem like a lot of yes and no signals, but you will get the hang of it slowly. So the only thing is you need to practice this every day. So and you have been given the freedom to contact more than one master, because all masters are uh, light only. They are speaking about the same truth in just different expression. So the crux here is to check where you are resonating first, and depending on your alignment, you will be getting the name of the master who will eventually guide you to your primary purpose of being unified. So I like how Babaji's way of teaching, he is not, of course, he's guiding us throughout the book, but he is not binding us to the people himself, binding everyone to himself, I'm saying. So instead, he is giving the freedom to choose any master, or even just choose your higher self, because the goal is not devotion to a certain personality. The goal is to remember your light. So the goal is to awaken our inner master. So he is making sure that through this chapter, that connection is always with us. We are not dependent on external form. The external form, the outer masters, whether it's Babaji, it's Jesus or Buddha, or even my own Guruji for that matter of fact, they are just mirrors. They just reflect the divine nature uh, back into us, and until we start seeing and seeing in ourselves. So uh, they don't let you, being in the remembrance of these masters and aligning with them, they don't let you lose your light. They just keep showing you again and again that you are this light, you are this love, you are unified. So know yourself. So they act like a bridge between our everyday awareness and our true self. that wave and particle. So once our inner master is awake, we become that bridge. You then don't go to a master to realize you are standing on the same ground as them. And then what it becomes is festival of lights, right? And it is coming so timely around the Shehra and Diwali that this will remind us how to celebrate the festival of light truly. So this is where I would just conclude the chapter. And thank you again for giving me time and showing so much patience. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Nehaji,
Nehaji.
there's a question there in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand this part. Think. Yeah, Devyani ji, right? How can we be there with masters who are not in physical body? So they do exist because we are, used to seeing masters in a physical body until and unless we realize our light nature, we cannot correlate with masters who are not in physical body. The first part is our resonance with our higher self. Then only we can relate to this example of how can we be how can we be with masters who are not in this physical form.
No, I understand that part that you're talking about, being aligned with your higher self and the master not being in their physical form. But the second part of that thing says that, just a sec, they simply guide and teach from a different level where you also exist. That's my query. I can't understand that part. I understand about the physical or even the non physical presence of a master because they are nudging and guiding you all throughout. I don't see them. But the fact that I'm also present in that plane is what I cannot understand. My
It
head
only,
can
yeah. Shaileji, you want
just
to
about
say? Because
understand.
my connection is unstable also
Yeah.
a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so Devyani ji, tell me, where is your higher self present?
Sorry,
Where is your higher self present?
um, in my heart
And
center,
where is the heart center?
within me, or am I not being? That's how I
Yeah, so you
perceive.
haven't understood higher self. So in the very beginning of this book, they explained our existence. We exist beyond the body, and that existence is what we called higher self. Beyond the body, I am not using in or out,
Okay,
because
okay,
in or out is related to our senses. So what
okay.
I am saying is, beyond the body, we have an existence, and that existence is infinite, and we called it higher self, that knows everything, that is connected to everything.
Okay,
That's
yes,
our
thank
higher
you.
self, right? So that part of us, now in this chapter we are saying we are one with higher self. In chapter 15 also we learned this thing, that I am not separate from my higher self, I am one with my higher self. And that part of me is always in touch with everyone in whatever way, shape or form they are, either
Okay,
in body
thank you.
or not in body. We are all, because ultimately in this chapter what we are learning, we are all bodies of light which do not have boundary. And so are those masters as well. Whether they are in the body or not doesn't matter. Their true existence is a body of light with its own unique signature.
Yes, thank
Right?
you. This is
And
where I missed out. I didn't
yeah,
correlate, and that was where I was struggling. Thank you. Thanks for the clarity.
perfect.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. So Nehaji has
Yes.
really covered a very difficult topic in a very beautiful explanation. Thank you, Nehaji. your explanation is really, really beautiful, and understanding it for me also. Today I learned I am not again a physics person myself, but I understood that the wave nature and the particle nature part you explained very beautifully, right? That part of us which is physical is particle. That part of us which is not physical is wave. That's how I understood it. Maybe wrong.
Yes.
That's how.
No, you're
So
right.
the thing we call as mind is actually a wave. The thing we call as a higher self is a wave. And the thing we call as a body is a particle. Right? It has a physical dimension. And both exist together.
Yes, we cannot deny the presence of both. We cannot
Both.
deny it.
Yeah, exactly.
Duality. That's what you say. We see it as dual, but actually it's one. Light. Yeah. So we get into the practice, masters, and then we can take more.
May I say something here? I looked
Yeah.
at it as anything which is limiting us as a particle.
Yeah.
Because particle is a limited concept, whereas a wave can run up to infinity. So
Yes.
basically, the love concept also becomes the wave concept,
Perfect.
whereas
Yes.
anything which is limiting to this dimension will become a particle.
Yes. Wonderful. So, thank you. Sandhya ji is a physics master.
Person, yeah. Yeah.
She is not just physics
For
person.
Sandhya
she
ji
is a
only I
master.
brought in this.
So-
It was beautiful.
So,
I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
her confirmation is really satisfies me that I understood it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Sandhya ji. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we begin the practice now, masters?
Yes. Please.
Yes, okay.
Go ahead.
So let's get ready again. Let's continue our practice. Make ourselves fully comfortable. If you want, you can take a sip of water first, and you can sit on your chair, cross your ankles, and if you want to sit on the floor, cross-legged, any way, whichever way you like, just keep your eyes closed and place your hands in the lap and just fully arrive into this moment completely. And as you first be comfortable with your body, start observing your breath. We are body and breath at the same time. So we have this light flowing, expressing itself through each breath. Feel this light, this moment in your body. It is telling you about all the places that you feel heavy or you are feeling light. Keep attention, keep a gentle awareness on your posture. correct, stable posture will help you not to go in trance or sleep-like state. So whatever works for you. Just do that. Your breath will guide you. Feel this breath. Completely in your body. As you inhale, you feel your chest rising up. And as you exhale, it's sinking. Feel that feeling. Observe this natural flow of breath, bringing you to this moment completely. And you can feel your heart opening very quickly. This gentle breathing in and out is just like giving this body time to adjust to the awareness of this inner space. Feel this gradual shift of energy. Slowly, you are becoming calmer, centered, still, and stable. And we are slowly experiencing ourselves as light, pure light, without the filters of the mind. And let this light guide you to clear away all the uninvited influences from your aura. You could affirm, I send love and light to all uninvited influences which have come into my aura. You are all whole, you are all healthy, you are all healed. You are light. You are created as love and light. You are not afraid and no more in pain. I ask my higher self to take you, guide you to a perfect place. All of you go peacefully. Let my light guide you, towards your own light. I close my aura now to all except my higher self. And at this moment, if there are any thought forms that are distracting you, just send love to each one of them. Just keeping an awareness on the feeling of higher self. The feeling of love, the feeling of light, the feeling of joy and abundance. It's all present in this very moment. So just ask your higher self for a signal. My dear higher self, please give me your signal. If our mind is free of doubts, free of worries, we'll be able to recognize this signal very quickly. This is how the light in us, the invisible part of us, speaks to us in form of energy, moving and telling you it's here. whether it's through a sensation or a gentle twitch or a feeling of hot and cold, a sound, a vision. It could be anything. This light is our remembrance that we are love. Love that permeates the entire creation. I am love. I am light. The same light of God. God is bliss, joy, abundance. And I'm made in God's image. God's light shines through this mirror of my mind, which is clear, which is without any limitation. The bliss, the joy, abundance radiates as I realize in this very moment I am whole, I am complete. I am everything that is. Feel this happiness in your heart. And feel God as happiness. Happiness expresses itself sometimes as laughter, sometimes as joy, sometimes as tears. Tears of gratitude. Tears that tell me who I am. I am a unique expression of the divine. So special, one of a kind. God is omnipresent and omniscient intelligence. I feel myself, my awareness present everywhere as God's light. And this knowing that I'm everywhere present at any time without any boundaries makes the feeling, makes the realization of love more stronger. I am that infinite energy of God, limitless energy. It's always there, driving this whole creation. God is prosperity with so many reflections. So am I. I can express myself in various ways. Time and again I have come, expressed myself in different ways. Learned and unlearned so many things. Only to arrive here, to realize that I am made in the image of God. My light and God's light is one. We are one, so there is no judgment. There is no separation. I embrace myself as love, as light. The way creation has made me. And now I ask my higher self to connect me with masters who have completed this journey. They are those mirrors of telescope that amplify the truth to me. So now I'm ready to invite masters to speak to me and amplify my own light. So just repeat after me. My dear higher self, I wish to communicate and learn from the masters. Please tell me if any masters are present to communicate with me. you can check with your yes and no signals. If there is anyone available. If you receive a yes, then ask the Master for their name. See who appears to you as their first thought. Verify with a yes and no, so that you have correctly identified the name. Whatever name you got, ask the Master to give you a signal. This signal could be a message. This signal could be a feeling. A sensation. Just observe. Whatever message you receive, you can note it down and use your yes and no signals to ensure that you clearly received the right message. Observe your thoughts. And if there is nothing more that you feel is coming, you can ask the Master if there is anything else. If you receive a no signal, If you feel there is nothing more that needs to be communicated, you could conclude your conversation and pause and thank the masters who are guiding us, seen and unseen. Let us come together and thank our higher self, this presence of light within, always guiding, always loving us. From this space, every breath that we are taking is a gift of love and light. Every thought that we think is made of love and light. So let us thank everyone and send love to everyone who is supporting us in this journey. Our mind cannot really comprehend how and why they are supporting us, but our heart knows that this love, this light is meant to flow. So let's just extend this love to the entire humanity. May every being recognizes themselves as light and become a clear channel of love. Let's slowly come out of our practice. And thank Babaji for this wonderful chapter, for making us free to connect with all the enlightened beings who tell us about ourselves. Let's slowly come to the awareness of this body. You could move your body a little bit, take both palms on the top of your eyes and gently taking your time, you could come out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and out and open your eyes. And feel this space. Take some time to feel how just sitting in this quiet period has connected you to your own inner awareness, your own limitless nature. Thank you, Masters. Thank you very much for your energy, for your presence, for contributing to this group consciousness. Thank you.
Thank you, Nehaji. Beautiful meditation, beautiful guidance. It was just too little short. So everybody must be enjoying their bliss, the light we are on. Take your own time, Masters, if you're writing, making notes, anything you have received, please take time, and then you may raise your hand and ask question. Thank you, Nehaji, for a beautiful summary. Today, some internet connection is going on unstable.
Yeah, I guess. Was it from my end also? There was disturbance?
I don't know. It was from my end.
No,
For sure.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, your was
That's
clear.
why I switched off my camera later when I realized that there is something happening.
Yeah.
Also, that's one reason, because at this time particularly the connection is a little bit.
Shall I
This
see or
is
not? Yeah.
this is what Devanayani ji wanted to learn. How are we connected that way beyond the physical? They
But
keep
Devyani,
telling us this is a signal to tell us that, oh, don't think like that, I'm here. They just come and mess with your network or do whatever. They just tell you that they are present.
for Devyani ji, to have more clarity about higher self, read chapter 2. And there also we do the same thing. We ask for higher self name and we expect master's name or unknown name. And here the same way we are expecting master's name or some unknown name. Masters we may not know because they are just in their own way, with their own light, they're guiding
Yes. Yeah.
the whole humanity. So just to go back and read that chapter, it will make more sense now. When you started from 1 2 and now from 23 to 2, it's a different journey altogether, different understanding. We'll listen, Asha ji.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think I'm going to sit in this mode forever. It was so beautiful. So one beautiful, the signals were all very weak, and that's okay. But the beautiful experiences was, first of all, waveform. So we are all like, I was the ocean, with each of us being one of those unique waves, which blends in that ocean again and again and again and again. And if you become into that material form, it is that bubble that comes off of the ocean onto the shore and then bursts, after some time. So that was one thing. And then all these great masters are the depth in that ocean, where there is only stillness. There is no movement of the waves, but just the depth and stillness. And these masters are that depth. And the other thing was, I had learned, I think it was in Ishovasya Upanishads, who is the seer behind the seeing? Who is the hearer behind the hearing? That there is the questioning in that. And, like when we see something with our eyes open, we see something, yes. But when we close our eyes and we want to think of seeing a Statue of Liberty, we can still see it. So who is putting that light on that Statue of Liberty when my eyes are closed? That is that light that we are talking about. It is not a light that is bright light or dim light or anything. That light that behind everything, that is there non-stop. Same thing if I was blind, and if I have some imaginations in my mind of something. I'm seeing it with the light that is behind the light. And then same thing with the hearing. A comatose person can still hear. So who is that hearing? Because or his hearing, we know that it is not working, but there is a hearer behind that. Or even in our own mind chatter. Who is hearing that mind chatter? It is not through our outer ear. It is the inner ear, the behind the inner ear. I mean, it was an amazing coming, the truth of what that I had studied then was coming here. And then the third thing was the clear understanding of Satchidanand. You said that, it is the consciousness is there. That is that ocean completely. And that is there. It is particle form or a wave form. That is the truth. There is only that. And then you said, that is expressed in form of happiness, the joy. So that is, again, everything is one, but expressed in different ways. And once we don't hold on to that bubble, because bubble is going to burst. And once the wave comes back into the shore, it is going to go back into the ocean. So as long as we recognize that we are that ocean, we are that love, we are that light, we are that thing, then every expression, every wave that comes up and goes down, or a small wave that just lingers around, each has got its such a beautiful expression that dances with the breeze and with the sunshine ripples, everything. I mean, it was amazing, amazing, amazing. Then comes all the masters were on my Zoom. All the masters were sitting on the Zoom screen, and I was asking which one of you, I raised my hand to see which one will take my question. And it was very beautiful. And when they left, again, the gratitude that was overflowing gratitude. And it was very hard to come out of that depth. I mean, I still am not come out of the depth of the experience. So thank you again for this beautiful, beautiful session. Thank you.
Thank you. It's amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we are all there now. Perfect.
We're still in
The
that
way,
stillness.
the way Asha ji explained everything with that joy, it's that feeling, it's that, it's that light, which is, it can't contain it in itself. It has to come out. It has to express itself. So
Yeah.
thank you, Asha ji, so much.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
This chapter is actually all the chapters. Now, if we start reading this book again, then the whole story will be very clear to us. So that's why second time it becomes more clear. Go into depth of things.
And we also understand, why we did that now why we did that then, what
Yes.
it meant. So it just clicked why, that first communication with higher self and now the final communication with masters, even after communicating with all little objects and everything around us. So it makes us sense that Babaji is trying to tell us that do not identify yourself with this physical body. You are that light. And when we identify things and everybody with that light, we can see that how rainbow comes together and looks so beautiful. So we are that light. We all are unique and with our own understanding, learning, expression, the way we come together and it's a beautiful union. And that group consciousness, it is a reflection of that. Our mind is magic, so we just give one little hint and it starts creating things. So seeing that light initiates from that feed, that see from this point of view.
And it's so magical that all the chapters, like all this knowledge, of course, we all have at certain level, we have read things and we know things, but everything is like layer by layer. We are getting to know things like nitty-gritties of everything, you know. So it is amazing. Today I was reading, I mean, of course, this whole week I read the chapter in Hindi and now reading in it in English. I mean, today I was literally, I had no words. I was like totally in zombie mode for some time. I was blank completely. So like, I was blown away by the experience of this chapter, the impact of this chapter. So only these words could make that impact. So, it's
I was
amazing.
feeling that it will be easier for you because you have lived with the Guru and his
Hmm.
presence would have made you feel the difference, and starting from your childhood and living through that eyes, that not that limited self, but with the expanded consciousness.
Yeah, definitely. It has helped me somewhere. I mean, like when Ashaji was telling about that, who is the seer? So he used to, like, when we used to go to him as kids, he would ask us to close our eyes and then he would question us that, do you see your mom? Do you see your dad? So I said, yeah, we do see. So who is seeing it? Your eyes are closed. Who is seeing it? So I said, yeah, of course. Like, so he used to put that thought that who is the seer? Who is there inside you? You see. So that's how
Yeah.
little experiments he used to do with us. So it did bring awareness to that aspect of myself. Like, you are beyond this, of these thoughts and things. So
But
yeah, it has
for
helped.
for
Yeah.
me, for me, the beautiful part of today is understanding that particle versus wave. Just thinking of that I am the particle, and then thinking I am the wave. These two thoughts give me a completely different feeling about myself. When I think that I am a particle, I suddenly feel like I am a rock. Solid, sitting here, not moving, right? And then when I think of myself as a wave, I am absolutely free and light and pervading everywhere, right? That difference, and both are my presence only. It's such a beautiful feeling when you can feel that thing. Aha,
Yes,
so good.
absolutely. I was actually like struck with this straight statement today. So, like, oh my God, this feeling is so surreal in itself.
That is for Devyani ji. So Devyani ji sitting here in Zoom and the Devyani ji's presence everywhere like a wave.
Yes, I really feel there is a strong message for me in this. Thank you so much. This clarity is getting clearer and clearer. The fog that was in my head. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
So can I say something here? So once we start
Sure, yeah.
moving across the universe, just imagine the number of waves. So we can be in tandem. So basically, we may be in resonance, then we create laser. So we're all in the same zone, like all in tandem. Or we could have destructive interference. In that case, so this is in the, so today somehow I was in that mode where I was connected to everything on in the universe, and there were some places where I was like, okay, this is such a nice vibration, and that is not. So then I realized that maybe whenever I'm in tandem with someone else's vibration, then yes, it resonates. So I'm very happy. I feel I mean, all empowered. Whereas there are some cases where you're not.
Yes,
And then you take a step back. So this also happens in human
yeah,
relationships, of course, but
yeah.
that aside, so I was like, okay, now I think I'm going into too much of, I don't know what zone it was. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Would anybody like to share if they got any message from Master or could identify in their
I
quiet
was about to ask
practice?
that.
Yeah.
Any question related to the practice or in difficulties understanding or getting clarity? Even though if you don't get name, you should be able to identify the presence of masters. It's always there when we meditate.
Yeah.
I think Sheelamji has a question here. Maybe you want to ask that, Sheelamji? She's asking, I want to
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
just the same way as you communicate with your higher self. The process of communication is absolutely same. So when a master has given you a name and you have the master signal, then whatever you are communicating, that communication is actually happening with the master. Even if your higher self is present, your higher self will always be present anyway. It's part of you. You are integral. So when you are communicating at that time after receiving a signal of a master, your communication will be with the master. And frankly speaking, it really doesn't matter. That's also written in the chapter. Who you are speaking to is immaterial, because you are getting answer to your questions, right? You are receiving messages, and messages which are relevant to you at that moment. That's what mostly you will receive.
That is what I was asking. How do you communicate with your higher self? You are taking yes and no only. You are not really communicating as such. So once the higher self says yes, it is the master. Then how do you communicate? I couldn't get to
With
that.
the high, so if you are still not communicating with your higher self in detail, then there is more to be done, right? With your higher self, yes and no is only for confirmation, but you will still receive thoughts. Those are the messages of the higher self.
Okay.
We have learnt to distinguish between messages of higher self and the mental chatter in chapter 4.
Yeah.
So there are messages flowing in from higher self. That's what we call as intuition.
The same way it will be with the higher, masters.
It's
That's
like a
right.
bridge,
Yes. Yeah.
So you are hearing your master's message through your higher self. It's the same thought, whatever in that
Yes.
state you're receiving, the thought is master's message.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you so much. Thank
And it is the same method of communicating with plants, objects, things. The method remains exactly the same,
you.
right? All communication will happen through thoughts only,
Okay, got it.
right?
Thank you.
Yeah. But once again, some of us have what they call as psychic abilities, and because of those psychic abilities, some people can actually get visions, some people can get voices in the head, not externally, but in internal voices, and some people just have a knowing, right? That is the thought. So different people have different abilities to communicate, right? But the most common one is through thoughts. That's how it is. Yeah, the communication will happen that way only. So be aware of your thoughts most of the time, and you will be able to distinguish. And like, there is no logical way of distinguishing. Your inner knowing will tell you, yes, this is the right thing. Your inner knowing will say, well, this is your mind asking you question. You will know it because you are not the mind. So the one who is not the mind, who is actually receiving the message, is able to distinguish. That knowing is within you, and I can't even describe it. It's actually part of you. You always know that this is the right thing.
Thank you, Shaileshi. I got it.
Thank you.
And I think now at this stage, most of us are aware of this higher self. We are living as higher self also in some way. So we may get messages anytime. So just be aware of that thing, that, it is a master's message. If there is a song coming in your mind or something, it's a master's message for you. So
Yes.
if it is a quote from a master, if it's some kind of thing, it is for you. The higher self is bringing for you that master's message. So that's how we get it. So depending on how how you perceive your ability. So like some people have psychic abilities, some people get just knowing, or just observe your thoughts in the day. If your awareness is there, you will get it.
I can give you an example. Let me just give you This is much before I started doing what you call these practices here with Unified, or even before I started working with PSSM. Prior to that, I had this experience. My wife had passed away, and I used to be depressed and sad and remembering her. I had lost complete touch with music myself because of the state of mind, right? The way my mind was. Um, I enjoy singing, even though I am not a good singer, but I enjoy singing. Just this is my own personal enjoyment, right? I just love singing. I sing, and it doesn't matter what song it is. I just enjoy the song, whatever it may be, and it varies with mood and so on. So one day I was just sitting in my living room, and that living room contains um, a very large number of plants, indoor plants or in pots. And they are all my wife's gift to me. She used to love plants, and she would constantly keep bringing more new plants and looking after them so very well. She used to actually talk to the plants and so on. She did all that. So those plants are there in the living room. Almost 60-70 pots are there. So then I was just sitting there in the living room, and I was remembering my wife. So all of a sudden I get this song in my head. That is a song which was I have not been connected with. I had heard it in my childhood, but I wasn't connected with that song. All of a sudden this song starts playing in my head. And that song, I will tell you, it's in Hindi, and that song is about a very old movie. It's from an old movie where she's saying, well, when I am not there, you will still know me through the cool breeze that comes through the plant. You know? This cool breeze, the morning breeze that comes through the plant, you will know me through that. That's the wording of the song actually, right? In that song, जब हम न होंगे, something like that.
Rahe na rahe hum,
That's
right? Rahe na
Rahe
rahe
na
hum.
rahe hum. Yeah, that song started playing in my head, and then I just went immediately onto YouTube and played the song to myself, right? And every word communicated to me a message, every word in the song. And that was precisely the message that I received from her. I have never forgotten that. So that's what I'm saying. This is how they communicate. When those people who are not in the body always have a way of communicating, if we are alert, if we are ready to receive, if we are sitting in resonance, we will listen, we will find the messages. So and just something like that. So this just an example. I'm saying the messages can come to us in symbolic form also, like that. And you don't have to worry whether how will I interpret. You don't have to, because the way it comes, you will know instinctively. I wasn't really doing meditation of that. I used to meditate, of course, but I was doing a different short meditations, morning, evening kind of thing. But at that time, the way probably I was in a state of resonance, and then this song came, and I immediately was able to connect that yes, this is a message from her. I mean, like, just like that. Nobody ever told me, nobody explained anything to me. My inner knowing was telling me that listen to this song. So just understand how communication can happen. I still have most of those plants that I am not as good a plant keeper. I try to keep them as much as I can, but those plants are still there. been, some of those plants are 15 years old, but they are still there in my living room, in pots. Yeah. So that's how universe communicates. That's how other light beings, they communicate with us. And each one, nobody is different. Each one of us is a light being. We are all that body of light with our
So as
own
you're,
unique signature. Yeah.
as you're sharing this, Shalishi, I could remember maybe many of you would have read this Journey of Souls, Michael Newton, right? So there, in one of the later chapter, it talks about the light and the dimensions and the soul group. So there it says it's a world of light where different lights are present. I used to be very much confused with this concept. Like, if everything is light, then how will you identify a different light? And it was just trying to explain, the different level of consciousness that we are in our journey. So we have that kind of intensity, and then the glow and light, the color, the shades, and all that. So when I was reading this, I could relate to that understanding I had while reading the chapter, The Journey of Souls. So here again, Babaji is giving us that perspective. So as you said that, I'm just
Yes.
bringing that concept here. You might have heard or read. You can relate to it. And there also that light is glowing, happy, joyful, and the body is not there, but the light is acknowledging and identifying each other, and that joyful presence in that group consciousness. That's what they say, that it is your light that the world is glowing. So we may not be able to comprehend with our this logical head, but the spirit world and its light is actually the light of the world. Our expansion of consciousness is actually the expansion of the universe. So these are the messages sometimes I get when I write. Yesterday I was wanting to record the meditation for Hindi. So I got this line, ये दो आंखें इन दो आंखों की सीमा हो सकती है, जो इन आंखों से बाहर देख रहा है वह असीमित है. So today you guys were talking at this point when Asha ji shared. So who is seeing that is unlimited? It was a beautiful connection.
Yeah. One more thing I want to tell you guys. It's a little bit personal, but it will help clarify the understanding. So at that time, I didn't know how to get a signal from the master and stuff like that, right? That we are learning only in Unified. So at that time, when after that I got that song, I established a change in my kind of physical signal. Whenever I remembered my wife, I would get that from that time. So that time, whatever was there, that got registered. And then after that, whenever I remembered her, that thing came on. Right? And now you see the funny part of it. After that, once we started doing Unified, that is actually my higher self signal. It's the same. So higher self has been connecting to me all through, giving me the messages. I was connecting this presence to my wife, right? But the real connection has been always with the higher self, has been guiding and telling, well, okay, yeah, it's okay. You can remember, you can think, and this is what she's saying to you. And I would be communicating and using that signal, sort of. But all I'm saying is that we are always guided by our higher self. And ever since that event, I have been intuition driven. I have been continuously, I just follow my intuition. I don't put logic, none of that thing. If
But
something comes,
Shaileshi,
I
you
just
might
do
be
it. Yeah.
getting message through your higher self, but it was your wife's presence. I mean, whenever you're saying you remember, not you remember, whenever you remember and she acknowledge, or maybe she wants to make her presence known to you. she would give you some message, or the vibration would change whenever some spirit or such soul comes in our aura or nearby. There's a change. So you might be definitely we receive message through thoughts, so we know it's our
Yes.
higher self, but it's different with different person. Even if I'm in this
Yeah.
body and if I am talking to you telepathically, you would identify this message is coming from Preeti. It doesn't matter I have to be in the body or afterwards.
Right. But what I'm saying is, think about it this way, that if I am not, so this mechanism has been functional this way forever, right? But I was not sensitive enough to read it. I wasn't having a clarity to sense that shift, that change, that signal. When I became sensitive, when I was able to, or I would say, when I became alert on that aspect of communication, then only that thing started functioning for me. Right?
We
So
learn
it must
things
be
when it's
there for
needed,
everybody.
right?
Our awareness is not there. Right? So when our awareness comes to this aspect, then you begin to communicate.
We learn things when it is needed, right? So when it was needed, it came to you and you acknowledged it, and you were in your quiet space where every
Yes.
vibration, every drop of
Yeah.
anything other than that silence was heard. So
Right.
that is what
Yeah.
is acknowledgement. And before, that here we are learning it in a very mechanical way, but everybody is guided the same way. We are not able to comprehend, and when we come and learn about the soul space and all that, then we
Exactly.
are able to understand, correlate. But this kind
Yes.
of message, there's a particular timing when we are ready to communicate without words, without this physical exchange of gestures and communication, whatever it is. So there's a perfect time for that.
Correct.
And universe make sure that you get you get the message that is needed.
This is the confidence I want everybody to have.
Yeah.
Never underestimate that, oh, I can't get this, oh, I don't get this. No, you have the ability, you have been getting it. The only thing, you are not paying attention to it, you are not aware. Your inner knowing has always been there and will always be there. It will not shift, it will not change. So it's just that you are not aware of it. Now you are learning to consciously be aware of it. That's the thing I want everybody to feel confident about. There
One
is
thing
nothing
happened,
special that Shailesh possesses.
or
Know that
anybody
you
does.
have the same thing. Everybody, yeah.
The main block here with when we communicate with master is our attachment to the identity, and that's what Babaji is trying to make us sure that we drop that. So suppose you are in meditation, suppose you start listening to Guru Vani or Kabir ke Dohe or Guda's some of the teaching, you start getting that. So instead of going into depth of that teaching or wisdom, you might be that get stuck with that personality identification, that okay, it's Buddha, and then we lose the connection, because no master is uh, in entertaining us on that front. They rarely come to give us a message that is needed. So it would always be focused where our awareness has to be, in the messages, not in the identification with the person. So that's why some Nehaji today shared that even if you don't get the name, that's okay. Go ahead and get the message.
Correct. That is what is important. And
No,
we
if you
are
look at,
always.
then why do we want to ask the name at all? If you are just accepting that message as it is from any master, then maybe asking because you have, I think the belief that you have had ensures it more concrete. I thought it that way.
Yeah. It
You know.
facilitates your connection. It facilitates your connection. Right. That's
Expansion of
okay. Yeah.
communication, I would say.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
because
And
these are
also,
some whom you have been following. Yeah.
also I mentioned that why do we ask for a name? It's for the mind to hold on to something tangible. So,
Ah,
so that's why. Otherwise, you are confused. Who are you talking with, or who are you establishing a connection with?
And
So
yes.
in
you are
that
showing,
meditative
yeah.
state, that awareness is such that you go in tend to go in that blank spot, with me it happens mostly though. So I'm not able to remember that, okay, I'm talking, I'm just going in that deep awareness, so that we forget that previous moment I was talking to somebody. Come back, so you have the name, so that connection is alive.
Yes. Yeah.
Kailash, I just want to ask you, for the first time when I went to Shirdi, actually, I had no clue what Shirdi Baba was. Okay? And I was 17 years old. So when we went to the mandir and just sat praying, looking at Baba, you felt as he was penetrating into your eyes. And actually tears are flowing and just telling you, why are you this thing? I'm always there with you. Sort of, communication. Because when today this thing said, whether your master is alive or in physical form or not, he'll communicate with you. So, I mean, I felt it was that because actually I didn't even know who he was, what his greatness was. And later, of course, when you read Sai Chatra, he says, even if I'm not alive in my physical form, the bones from my tomb will always reach out to you and be there for you, So,
Correct. But please always remember what this chapter is telling us. We assign value to masters. And this chapter is telling us that you are not less in value. So, in your earlier knowing, your childhood or your younger days, when you first went and witnessed this experience of Sai Baba, remember that at that time your state of mind was you were driven by the social learnings that there is somebody special out there, right? And that special was able to influence you. But now in this chapter, we are learning that grow up now, you are also that special. And that special is not other. That understanding, that gap that we have grown up with needs to be bridged. And that can happen only when you begin to communicate, facilitate more and more communication, more trust, and then slowly and gradually you will say, well, okay, this whole thing that I'm talking about is already my knowledge. Then you begin to sort of become one with that awareness, right? So essentially, in this chapter, finally, he has closed the gap. Read carefully, you will know he has closed the gap. You are no less in value. Even a reflection of you tells everything about you. That's why he's talking about that light, that infinite existence of light. So, the essence of the chapter is to help us bridge that gap that we have created unknowingly. It's not knowingly, that's how we have seen everybody, that's how what we have learned. We trusted, we believed, and we followed it. Right? But now we are opening up and learning more. Right? That's so just expand your knowing, expand your awareness of yourself. Knowing, this is called self-realization, right? When you are beginning to know more and more about yourself, well, okay, I'm not that limited, I'm not that small, it's just my body. But I am not the body. That learning is what is going to get you that feeling of expansion. Right? Just like Ashaji was mentioning, who is seeing from the eyes? From behind the eyes, who is seeing that? Who is that seer? That seer is not the body. Right? That thing. And then our understanding of physicality is through space and time. This concept, imagine why people cannot trust that I am infinite. You know why? Because we are stuck with the concept of in and out. My body is finite. How can an infinite thing be inside the body? Mind will not accept it. You get my point? So that in and out concept itself, I have abandoned it. Because I would say I have redefined outside as what my eyes can see. So what my eyes can see is, which eyes will immediately say it's outside my body. So the definition of outside for the eye is, if it's open and seeing, everything is outside. So when you close the eye, whatever is there, nothing has changed outside you. But when you close the eye, everything that you are experiencing is called inside. That inside is not physical. That is what that infinite existence is. Our infinite being is that. When you close your senses, give you that experience of reality, so-called reality, experience of reality in a limited fashion. That's the purpose of the senses. They make you feel everything is real around me. Yeah, this is physical, this is real. I can touch it, I can feel it, I can taste it, all that. And yes, this is real. The moment you close your eyes, that thing may not even exist, but you think it is there. And that, in terms of space, that existence is infinite. So time and space is directly connected to our senses, 5 senses. So once these concepts are digested by us, then we are able to really see the grand presence of my own being. When I am clear, when I accept these concepts clearly, then you connect everything, and that's when you begin to comprehend, I would say. With your limited mind, you can comprehend your grand presence. So it's it's difficult to explain. Sorry. I try doing my best as simply as I can. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Sheelamji. Yes, Jayaji. Yeah, you can share.
Yeah. Yesterday I was remembering I got a song I wanted to share. It's a little bhajan somebody made for us when we were teenagers. Mm. सूरज रोज उगाए कौन, कलियों को भी जगाए कौन, डाली डाली जलाए कौन, पंछी गीत सिखाए कौन, वो मैं हूँ, मैं ही तो हूँ, हाथों में हलचल मेरी है, इन आँखों में ज्योति मेरी, हृदय में है मेरी धड़कन, सांसों में बहती शक्ति, वो मेरी ही है, हाँ मेरी ही है। बादल को बरसाए कौन, इंद्रधनु को भारे कौन, सृष्टि को रंग डाले कौन, पहेली तो बुझाओ, बोलो कौन, वो मैं हूँ, मैं ही तो हूँ, वो मैं हूँ, मैं ही तो हूँ. So
Thank you.
that was so when I remembered it and I thought, oh my God. So every word that we spoke about yesterday, it was just connecting to it again and again. Also, they said life feels so real because it's a prolonged dream. It's a dream that we see day in and day out. That's why we feel it's real. And when the TV is on, there is fire, there is tension, there is happiness, there is joy. And then you suddenly put off the TV and there's complete silence. So when we are in the body, everything feels real. And once we connect within, we shut down from the world, we shut off from the world. Automatically, oh, khalipan or emptiness. And we like it's so beautiful to feel that you are a drop of the ocean, like the song Big Light, Little Light. And that suddenly that little light feels so complete, feels so um, full, satisfied, that I am part of that light. I am part of that being. Uh, Also, like Ashaji said, that um, who is the one who is watching? So very often we were told to challenge ourselves, close your eyes and listen to something. Then analyze who heard it, or visualize something and analyze. Your eyes were closed. Who saw it? And very often we would be asked, how did you sleep last night? So somebody said, I slept very well. Somebody said, my sleep was very disturbed. How did you know you were asleep? Who knows that you slept? Who knows that your sleep was disturbed? Your eyes were closed. And so with the eyes closed, you feel, okay, my hands are relaxed. My hands are on the bed. I'm not the hand. I'm watching the hand being relaxed. Or I'm not the leg. I'm watching the leg is relaxed. Or like when we have a headache. So am I the headache? No. Am I the head? No. I can see that my whole body is fine. Just my head is aching. So the pain is there on the head. But who knows that the pain is there? So every time we have fever, or we had cough, or we had a little bit discomfort, my mom used to say, now time to separate yourself, time to see who is feeling it and what is feeling it, and you are the one watching it. So when you separate, the dis-ease sort of disappears much faster than when we focus on the pain. So yeah, it's just yeah.
And see, each one of us has so much of knowing already. You had all this knowing right from your childhood, but now you are able to connect to it. Now you are able to experience it. That is the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Right? Knowing is just there. It doesn't do anything to me. It just adds on to my weight. But wisdom is experience, and experience is permanent. That stays. So, so many good things have been passed on to us by our predecessors always. But we are stuck with what we call as reality. Think about reality, the definition of reality. What does everyone think is real? We think what is real to me, anything that my senses can accept, that is real. Right? My five senses define reality for me. Know this. And my five senses are limited. So I am constantly living in limited reality. That's why you never accept your dream to be real, because they didn't come to you through five senses. If your dream could be seen with open eyes, you would consider them to be real. Understanding this is very important. Your senses, your five senses drive all your life, because that's the purpose. We will create a limited reality, limited thing called reality, to create experiences. So we have created a chamber. This is what this chapter says. You get stuck in this time and space using the body as the vehicle. The body makes you get stuck with time and space, which defines boundary. Essentially, this is boundary, right? Time is one type of boundary and space is another type of boundary. So both are boundaries and both are connected. And that bound or is a limited experience is what we are taking as experience. Reality in the truest sense of it may be very different. We are only looking at through a very small window of reality, which our senses will accept. So once those senses, that all of us have more than 5 senses, by the way, we don't use them, but once those senses wake up, then your reality changes, right? That inner knowing, that intuition, when that sense wakes up, your reality begins to change, because then you see, well, okay, this is so limited, there is much more to it. I am the light. Eventually you will see that. That may not in physical terms, but in terms of knowing, right? Light also is knowing. That knowing, when that knowing happens, you are enlightened. That's the light we are talking about here in this chapter. All of us are there. Don't worry, masters, you have all experienced. Just we have to connect them. Link your own experiences and you will see everything.
Also, like when the mother has fever and the child has fever, the mother forgets that she's unwell and she takes care of the child because she goes beyond her limited being. Or like my mom said there was somebody on the wheelchair and she lived on the first floor. So in her house there was a fire. So she has climbed the railing and jumped from the first floor in a sari. And when she jumped down and then she looked up and she realized, oh my God, what happened? And she fell down. But she was able to jump. She was on the wheelchair. I mean, she couldn't walk properly, but she jumped from the first floor. So she rose above the body. And when you rise above, then you are limitless.
Yes, correct. So that unlimited existence that we all have is what we are beginning to realize. We are beginning to connect with. We are beginning to sort of become aware of. And the more we expand that consciousness, the more we will know ourselves. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this experience. Yeah, this we are at a stage where there is not a lot left to talk about. You all are there. You have moved into that zone. So yeah. Yes. Chali. Thank you. So if there is nothing more to discuss, then we can bring our session to an end today. Preeti, do you want to add anything, Neha? Anything else you want to add?
Good, thank you. I think I spoke a lot already.
Good, good.
Thank
You
you.
only get one
Thank
day chance, Nehaji. You should speak more.
I make sure that I bring out the best. So, best of the understanding throughout the week, throughout my
Yeah,
personal experiences. So,
yeah. The gems. Yeah,
yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's what
Thank you so much.
is when you speak less, you bring quality. Yeah, that's the saying.
Thank you.
No,
Good,
no.
good.
Everyone brings quality, sir. You all speak every day. That the quality doesn't reduce.
But we keep repeating the same thing. Okay, did you read the chapter? Did you practice?
Mm.
Good. Thank you. So let's get together again tomorrow and continue this practice, continue to expand our own consciousness. And thank you for your participation and patience today. Thank you, Neha, for such a
Thank you.
beautiful experience
Thank you,
today.
Neha ji.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you always. Thank you.
Thank you all.